Hello, welcome to lesson 10, which happens to be the last lesson of the sessions Għidli Storja, Tell Me a Story. Today's learning objective for lesson 10 is to create a story through guided story creation. Understand the aspects of storytelling by observing a storyteller, to evaluate the storyteller's performance through appreciative and constructive feedback. Activity 1 is warm-up of story creation using a person, a place, and a problem. So by the end of this activity, you will be able to create a story using a person, a place, and a problem. For this activity, you need to be in a group of three students in each group. You will work together to create a short story out of a place, a person, and a problem. So I'm going to call you student number 1, student number 2, and student number 3. Student number 1. Student number 1 is going to contribute a place where he or she would rather be at the moment. Student number 2 is going to contribute a person with whom you would like to be, you would rather be at the moment. Student number 3 is going to contribute a problem that you would like to solve as soon as possible. What is the problem? You're 3. You are working together. You need to listen to each other. Where is your story taking place? Who is with you? What is the problem? So as a group, you're going to work together to create this short story, okay? And the teacher will go around and she's going to listen to your planning and give you the required support. The second activity is guided story creation. This should take around 30 minutes. And this is from the Storytelling School's methodology. So as resources, you would only need a blank A4 piece of paper. You need a pen or a pencil, anything you like. You can hold it in landscape or in portrait. And the important thing is that you make 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines. So now you have 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to give you some time to prepare a paper like this. You need to focus, you need to listen, and I'm going to put some relaxing music to help you relax. Imagine a place. Imagine a place and let this place arise in your imagination. It might be a forest, it might be a city, it might be a beach, it might be outer space. It's your imagination. Imagine a place. And when you can see this place in your imagination, you're going to draw a sketch. Remember, we do not write in these boxes. We only draw a sketch. I'm going to give you some time to draw the imagined place. All right. Now, let a character arise in your imagination. It could be human, it could be an animal, it could be a pet, it could be a wild animal. Imagine and draw your sketch in this box. Give your character a name and think of his, her, or its qualities. Is the character clever? Is the character strong? Is the character frightened? Is the character very sad? I'm giving you time to draw. Draw the character, name your character, and maybe if you can't put it in the drawing, you can write the quality: strong, brave, frightened. I'm moving to the third box. The character here has a problem that matters, a problem that might change his, her, its life. And it's important to solve this problem as soon as possible. What can this problem be? Fear? Is the character lost? Is the character in danger? Very good. Something else has happened. and has made the character's life even more difficult. But what can be added to the problem to make the character's life even more difficult? Draw a sketch. There's another problem, and you're going to draw the problem in this box now. A second setback, something that makes the problem even bigger. It's going to make your character's life even more difficult. What can you think? What can you imagine? What can arise in your imagination? Something bad? Something evil? So now, your character needs a helper. Definitely, your character needs a helper. Who can be the helper? What can be a helper? It can be a wise old man who appeared from nowhere. It can be a friend. It can be an object. A wand maybe. A key. Something magical. A stick. Who or what may the helper be? Has it got magical powers? The qualities may be patience and kindness. How will the helper find a solution? How does the helper solve the problem for the character? Sketch a solution. Now that the problem is solved, what is the ending? How will it change your character's life? Every story has a learning. Now you can write something here for the learning. Maybe be strong. never give up. Okay. And I hope that you have created the story. What you have been doing is this. It was the story plot matrix. You had the where, the what. What is the problem? The setback. A second setback. The helper. What was the solution? The ending and the learning. So what you have to do now is to tell your story. You take your sketch, which will help you remember. You're going to take your own and you're going to look at the sketches that you have drawn. And you're going to tell your story to somebody else. You might need to change something, which you may. Your friend will listen and your friend will give you feedback. Maybe your friend will tell you you can talk louder here because you're very frightened. Take advice. Yes. And then you are going to listen to somebody else's story. And you are going to listen, to evaluate, to appreciate, and give feedback. You might all need some changes here and there. Help each other. The next thing you do before you move on to writing is you're going to map the story. You step so you will remember more. I do hope that this has been very helpful for your story creation. This is a story that happened in a kingdom. The name of the story is Mavris. Once upon a time, there was a king, and the king had a minister. His minister was a very faithful man. He took care of all the king's work. He made sure that everything was running smoothly. It happened that the queen and the minister's wife were going to have a child at the same time. The king loved his minister very much. As I said, he was a very faithful man. He promised his minister that if one woman had a boy and another woman had a girl, they would have them married. He even put this in writing. Well, it happened that the king had a beautiful daughter, a beautiful princess, and the minister had a boy. He called his boy Mavris. There was something different to Mavris' skin. It was a scaly skin, It was like the skin of a fish. Nobody said anything at the time, and the children grew up together. They played together in the beautiful palace. They were best of friends. The princess never said anything about Mavrys and his skin. He was her best friend. He was very good at heart. He was strong. He had such good qualities, and he was very much loved. They grew up, and the time came for the princess to marry. Well, the king changed his mind, and he decided that no, his daughter will not marry Mavrys. He said he wanted somebody who had a perfect skin, just like his daughter. Well, the minister was very, very sad, both as a father and as a friend to the king. He never expected such thing from the king. Mavrys was very sad, and he took a vow and went to look for the gods to change his skin. On his way there was a stone that was in the air. Mavrys, Mavrys, I've heard that you're going to look for the gods. I am. Will you ask the gods why I am flying in the air? I would like to go on the ground with all the rest of the stones. I will. And he walked and walked until he came to a bridge. There were men trying to finish this bridge. They were building this bridge for years and years, but they could only make half a bridge. When they tried to continue the bridge, to finish the bridge, each brick they put was falling, and they just couldn't finish the bridge. Mavrys, Mavrys, we've heard you're going to look for the gods. Yes, yes, I am, shouted Mavrys. Will you ask the gods why we can't finish this bridge? I will, promised Mavrys. And he walked and walked and walked. And the river was all foamy. The water was all foamy. And the river cried, Mavrys, Mavrys, we heard that you're looking for the gods. Yes, I am. Will you ask the gods why my water is so foamy? I want my water to be nice and clear. I don't want this foam. I will, promised Mavrys. And Mavrys walked and walked. It was such a long journey. He was tired, he was hungry, he was sweaty. He just had to sit down and rest. And as he was drinking, he could feel a breeze, such a warm breeze. And Mavrys could feel that he was not alone. He just looked left, he just looked right, he looked up and he looked down. And he said, Are you the gods? What is this warm breeze? Are you the gods? And there was a sound just like thunder. We are the gods, and we listen. Look at my skin. I look just like a fish. Well, the king promised my father that I would marry his daughter. And now that she's about to marry, he doesn't want her to marry me because of my scaly skin. And this he has put in writing. We are very sad, both my father and myself. And the gods said that what has been written cannot be undone. My son, for your skin to be just perfect, you need to wash yourself in the river. Ah, yes, said Mavris. The river is foamy, and she has complained. Why is the water in the river so foamy? Well, said the gods, you wash yourself first. Your skin will be just fine, and when you are out of the water, tell the river that a man needs to drown, and that is when all the foam will clear. And so Mavris washed in the river, and he washed and he washed. And when he was out of the water, he just looked at himself, and he saw that he forgot to remove his leather belt that was around his waist. When he removed the belt, his skin was very scaly. But he said that he would not go in the water again, and he would leave the mark as proof of how his skin looked before. He dressed himself up, and the river asked, Mavris, Mavris, have you asked the gods why the water is foamy, why my water is so foamy? And Mavris hurried. He hurried a bit, and then he said, yes, I have. A man needs to drown in your water before all that foam is clear. And the river was angry. Why didn't you tell me that before? You have just been in the water. Ah, yes, said Mavris, and that is why I didn't tell you, because I would have drowned. And he walked and walked, but now he hurried and hurried, because he wanted to get to the palace. And there he came to the bridge. Again he hurried, and the man on the bridge called, Mavris! Mavris! Why do you hurry so much? Have you asked the gods about this bridge? We can't have it finished. And Mavris said, yes, I have. For you to finish that bridge, a man must die there, and he must be buried on that bridge. Oh, the men were angry. Why didn't you tell us before? And Mavris answered, because you would have buried me to finish your bridge. And he ran and he ran, and he came to the stone. He just paused the stone and ran even more. Hey, Mavris! me!" And Mavris stopped, but he was very far away. And he said, "Yes, I have. For you to go down on the ground, you need to hit a man on the head first, and then you can stay on the ground." Oh, the stone was angry and shaking in the air. "Why didn't you tell me that before?" "Ha! Because you would have hit me on the head. I want to marry the princess." And he ran and he ran until he came to the palace. And there he was before the king. "Your Highness, I came to marry the princess." "Marry the princess? Who are you?" "I am Mavris. I am the son of your faithful minister." "Oh, no, you're not," said the king. "Your skin is scaly. You look like a fish. You should look like a fish." "Well, look at me now. I don't. But I have proof of what my skin looked like before I went to the gods and asked for help." And he took off his shirt. He took off his belt, and there was the silky skin. And the king asked what the gods had told him. "What is written, what has been written, cannot be undone, your Highness. That is what the gods have told me." And the king had no choice, but he was very happy because he did like Mavris, and he was his friend's son, the friend whom he loved very much. And the princess and Mavris married, and they lived such a happy and peaceful life. So, as the gods say, what has been written, what is written, cannot be undone. So that is my last story for you. I do hope that you have enjoyed. Bye-bye for now.